Congratulations for being willing to step out of your comfort zone and start changing your life. Whenever we start something new, it seems like a long, arduous process to get up and running. There are a lot of things to try to remember and learn. We have to do things outside of our normal daily routines. It can be scary and challenging. But there is one very important point that I want you to keep in mind, and that is that you are not alone. We are here to help you succeed. We are going to provide you with all the information and resources you need to be successful. What you will learn. Upon completion of the What to Look For module, you will be able to evaluate the risks and the rewards in the various types of real estate investing. Describe the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of real estate. Identify your target investment areas. Create the personal property search criteria you will use to select properties in which to invest. Tip for success. Today's tip for success focuses on the qualities required to be successful in real estate investing. You have made an important decision to change your financial situation. That is wonderful, but in order to be successful in this part of your life, it may be necessary to change some of your mental habits as well. Our first tip for success today is to develop a good attitude. If you are pessimistic and believe that everything is going to fall apart, why would you ever take a step toward achieving your vision? A positive attitude gives life to a vision, a negative attitude hinders it. Surround yourself with positive people and substitute negative thoughts or feelings with positive ones. Second, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else believe in you? You are your own best advocate or enemy. You know what you are capable of doing. Don't let others dictate where you will go and what you will do. You must be at the helm of your life's direction. Third, be willing to grow. The fact of the matter is that none of us are capable of carrying out our grand visions in our current state. We need to be stretched to learn new skills and habits. In life, there are times when we succeed and times when we will fail, and what we learn and apply from both kinds of experiences helps us become successful. Fourth, focus your thoughts. To overcome your fears, you need to truly know what it is that you are pursuing. You need to have an end in mind and focus on it. Last, be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is the fuel that gives energy to your vision. If you aren't excited about your vision, it could die or fade. Why real estate? Real estate offers many opportunities to build wealth. It is a great source of passive income, meaning you can make money without actively performing some task. Unlike most assets you might own, real estate appreciates in value. When we say an asset is appreciating, we simply mean that its value is increasing. Real estate is one of the most consistently appreciating assets you can buy. Only a few times in history has real estate depreciated in value. And if it does dip down a bit, it recovers. Nationally, real estate appreciates between 3 and 9% per year. There have even been times and locations when it has appreciated between 15% and 30% a year. One of the most attractive features of real estate is that it is a tangible asset. It is something people can see and touch. This makes it easier for money partners to see its value, and makes them more willing to invest in this type of asset, even if they do not have real estate experience. Finally, real estate is always in demand. People will always need some place to live. As a result, lenders have developed numerous creative financing options to make it easier for people to invest in real estate. To summarize, real estate provides passive income, appreciates an average of between 3 and 9% per year, is a tangible asset, is always in demand, has many creative financing options. What should you invest in? There is some risk associated with investing in real estate, but if you are educated and careful, you can minimize that risk. When considering investing in these different types of property, it is important to understand the advantages and disadvantages of each type. In this section, we will discuss each of these types of investments and what you need to know to make an educated decision when purchasing. Land. Land has the highest risk of all the different types of real estate because it typically does not produce income and is slower to appreciate. You can buy land in one of two ways, either raw or improved. Raw land does not have utilities or amenities. It is land in its natural state, prior to grading, construction, and subdividing. Improved land is the complete opposite. Development is complete, so all it needs is a building. This makes it more desirable for not only property developers and smaller single property investors, but also owner-occupants building their own home. If the land is accessible and usable, the risk is much lower. In turn, the land holds a higher value. Be aware that land may have any of a variety of code and zoning requirements associated with it. Code and zoning place restrictions on the land and what can be done with it. Some common zoning types include residential, dwellings and related uses, commercial, businesses, healthcare, public offices, etc. Industrial, manufacturing, recycling, mining, etc. Rural, farming, woods, camps, recreation, other scattered uses. These types may each contain subtypes, and some properties might have mixed zoning. Make sure you understand all of the restrictions before purchasing. You can get this information by visiting your county or city zoning and planning department. You will also find that it is a lot more difficult to get financing to purchase land. Land zoned for commercial or industrial uses is harder to finance than residential. Typically, lenders require at least a 30% down payment and charge a higher interest rate on land with these restrictions because it is considered a higher risk investment. Their thought is, how are you going to make monthly payments when you are not generating any income from the property? They will scrutinize your ability to make the payments personally, instead of the property's ability to pay for itself. It may be possible to generate an income from vacant land by subletting it to a tenant farmer who uses it to grow crops or raise livestock. You might even be able to use it as a storage site for extra dirt, gravel, or other such materials. The government offers programs for landowners who grow certain types of crops or trees. Some historical or open lands programs offer grant programs to landowners who protect parcels of land from development. However you can do it, you would need to prove that there is a regular income stream coming in if you are going to get a lender to reduce the down payment requirement. Example: Kevin lives in North Dakota where he loves to hunt and fish. He bought a large parcel of raw land for recreation purposes, but the tax rates started getting too high, so he contacted the local forestry service, who informed him of a program to encourage the planting and maintenance of forest areas. Kevin planted evergreen trees and began receiving a large check from the government each year for maintaining the trees on his parcel of land. 10 years later, he sold his land to a person who wanted to make it into an RV park. The 10 years of cash flow on the property not only paid his taxes, but it helped him get top dollar when he sold the land and helped the new buyer obtain financing on the property. Commercial property. Commercial property is another high-risk property type. You will find that these properties require more money down and are harder to finance. What is considered commercial property? Some examples are strip malls, industrial parks, gas stations, convenience stores, and office towers. Two great things about commercial real estate are that it generates income and appreciates over time. Most commercial properties are bought and held for a period of time. Typically, the value of the property will increase or decrease with its ability to produce income. The more profitable the property is, the more it is worth to investors. Your ability to attract tenants will dictate your ability to generate income for the property. Tenants can be wonderful or they can be nightmares. When you have tenants, you could have liability or rent collection issues. You might consider having someone manage the property. Typically, if you are in a different state than the property, you will need a property management company or on-site manager to collect rents and maintain your property. As with any industry, you have both honest and dishonest people. In addition, property management expenses can become quite costly if they are not minimized and understood. You will want to keep a very close eye on the build expenses. Example: Bill and Ted bought a mobile home park for $250,000 as a fixer-upper. They hired an on-site manager who was handy and good with people. The park manager cleaned and fixed up the park, and before long they were attracting new tenants who were willing to pay an increased monthly lot rent to live in the revitalized park. Within 5 months, they went from making $800 a week to $2,800 a week. They expect to improve the park to the point where the monthly income will make it possible for them to sell it for 3 times their initial investment. You must do research to determine code and zoning requirements for your prospective commercial property. You can do this through courthouse records, sales comparables, and expense and income details from the property seller. If you don't do the research, you could end up with a property that is not worth the purchase price, as well as a property that cannot generate cash flow until code or zoning violations are resolved. Since commercial properties require a lot more of this research than most other property types, we recommend that you not begin by investing in commercial properties, but that you gradually work your way up to commercial investments. Multi-units. Any property with 2 or more units that focuses on residential occupancy is considered a multi-unit. If you talk to real estate agents and mortgage brokers, they are going to differ a little on what they categorize residential and commercial property. Multi-units are income-generating properties and have moderate risk compared to commercial properties. If your tenants pay for all of your expenses and you still have money left over each month, you have positive cash flow. Negative cash flow means your monthly income is less than your monthly expenses, which means you have to take money out of your pocket to cover those monthly expenses. It is easier to acquire financing when the property has a positive cash flow already. To secure a lender, you need to prove that the cash flow covers all the property expenses. You will need to have a down payment too. Residential multi-units are harder to finance than single-unit residential properties. Typically, lenders view properties with 2 to 4 units as residential multi-units. They are easier to finance than commercial real estate. You may have to hire someone to manage your multi-unit property and tenants. This can become quite costly if you are not careful. You will want to understand all of the property's operating costs and then evaluate how much a property manager would charge. If you're generating a positive cash flow, it might be in your best interest to let someone else manage the property for you. If not, you might want to work out a less expensive alternative or see what your other options might be. In addition, you should understand the property's code and zoning requirements. If you do not do your research, you might end up with a property that is worth less than the purchase price. If you have code or zoning violations, you may not be able to rent the units until they are resolved. This would mean that you would have to pay all the monthly expenses. Example: Suppose you buy a fourplex with units that do not have their own meter. Then suppose that soon after the city changes their code requirements to require that units be sub-metered or they cannot be rented as separate units. You will have just lost some of your income. When you lose income, you lose some of your value until the situation is rectified. The reverse can also happen. You could improve a property to meet code and increase its cash flow, thus increasing its value. Mobile homes. Trailer homes built before 1976 were often called mobile homes. Then, in 1976, the United States Congress passed the National Manufactured Housing Construction and Safety Act, which assured that all homes were built to highly regulated standards, and they started calling them manufactured homes. For simplicity's sake, though, we will call them mobile homes. Mobile homes can have a mild risk level because of the minimal investment to purchase. They are cheaper to repair too. Most people believe that mobile homes depreciate over time, but they can actually appreciate in value based on certain circumstances such as the surrounding area, the condition of the mobile home park, the overall condition of the home, and the financing available to purchase it. Amenities in the park and the surrounding area such as pools, playground equipment, clubhouses, open spaces, RV parking, and storage units can affect the value too. A large portion of the population would consider buying a mobile home. They satisfy a need for affordable housing in most major metropolitan areas. They also meet a housing need in areas where it is hard to get or transport building supplies. Mobile homes can be set up on land or on leased land. When they are placed on leased land, they are considered personal property instead of real property because they are not legally affixed to the land. In areas where mobile homes are legally affixed to land, they are considered real property and are often called single-family residences. One risk in mobile home parks is that you do not have much control over how the park is maintained and who moves in next to you. These factors can have a significant impact on the value of your mobile home. If the park is not maintained or if it has a bad reputation, you will find that your mobile home could decrease in value. If the park manager sets the monthly lot fees too high, you will find that your property will be harder to sell. If you offer financing options to the buyers, you can sell the property for more than you would if you required that they obtain their own financing. Obviously, you do not want to take advantage of the buyer. All you have to do is keep the down payment and monthly payment within a suitable range for your target buyers. Condos and townhomes. Condos and townhomes are typically connected by the physical structure of a building, but are considered single-family residences. They generally have a mild risk level. Typically, a homeowners association, HOA, manages and maintains the building housing the condos and townhomes. The HOA owns the exterior of the building and the land it sits on. The condo or townhome owner owns the interior of their home. The HOA charges the condo or townhome owners a fee to maintain the building and the grounds. Every homeowner in the complex is responsible for paying these fees. If they do not pay them, the management organization can impose fines and possibly foreclose on the unit. The more amenities that are available in the complex, the higher the value and desirability of the location. If the building is not well maintained, it can affect your property value. If the HOA increases the monthly fees too high or too often, your property may be harder to sell. Condos and townhomes are more readily impacted by local and national market fluctuations. There is an exception to this rule, however. In college and military towns, these units can become very desirable and in many cases may be less risky to invest in than single-family residences. Most lenders have stricter financing guidelines for condos and townhomes. They consider them higher risk than detached single-family residences because of the restrictions an HOA can put on the individual units and the power an HOA or condo association has to foreclose for delinquent fees. Single-family residences. Single-family residences, SFR, or single-family homes are detached residential dwellings. When you are just getting started in investing in real estate, this is the ideal property type because the greatest portion of the population buys or rents this property type. Typically, it is the easiest property type to rent or sell because of the location, price, and ease to qualify for financing. You will have a lot more buyers for this property type because these properties are attractive to first-time home buyers, transitional home buyers, and other real estate investors. Single-family residences withstand local and national market fluctuations a lot better than the other property types because of their desirability. No matter what is going on with the economy, everyone needs somewhere to live, and most will choose single-family residences over other property types. Your personal property search criteria. Once you have identified the type of real estate in which you are going to invest, the next decision in identifying your personal property search criteria is, where should I invest? Area demographics. When choosing the location for a property, it is important to understand the role of demographics. The demographics of an area refer to its characteristics and the characteristics of the people who live there. To evaluate the demographics of an area, you would look at such things as crime rate, quality of schools, cost of living, proximity to hospitals, shopping, and transportation, tax rates. These are just a few of the things you need to be aware of for any property you want to look at. You want to find a location that has as many attractive demographic features as possible so that you don't limit who can buy or rent. The more potential buyers or renters you have, the better. And the more attractive the demographics, the higher the price you can get for your investment. Population demographics. In addition to the area demographics, it is important to understand the characteristics of your potential buyers and of the neighborhoods they are looking for. We call this the population demographics. The home buyers in your area could be young or small families, retirees, transitional buyers such as couples downsizing and retirees, or other real estate investors. The demographic of your prospective buyers affects the type of property you can sell and the way you market your properties. Likewise, your prospective renters will influence which types of properties you choose to use as rentals and where you look to buy them. Typically, young families are looking for something simple and affordable. They may want to live within certain school districts or be close to shopping or public transportation. Single individuals are more likely to be looking to rent or buy a lower maintenance home. Typically, they will want something that is easy to get into, get out of, and maintain. In some cases, older people are looking to downsize. They may be looking for certain features such as minimal property maintenance, less square footage, on-level living, a community atmosphere, proximity to hospitals and shopping, etc. In many cases, this demographic may be looking for something more long-term. As you identify target areas in which to invest, you may find that your potential buyers come from several different groups but share a common monthly spending bracket. That monthly spending bracket is frequently your key population demographic. It has a major impact on who can afford to buy your property. It has a major impact on who can afford to buy or rent your properties. Evaluate the population demographics of your potential buyers or renters and determine which group gives you the best opportunity to make a profit in your area. Then focus your marketing efforts toward this group or groups. Whether you take on renters or try to sell, you will find that most of people are looking for safety, quiet, and convenience in a home. Most people also want to minimize their commute to work and shopping. Look at each type of population demographic and determine which group gives you the best opportunity to make a profit in your area. Property characteristics. Along with demographics, property characteristics are critical factors in identifying your property search criteria. When people are looking for a single-family residence to purchase, what are some of the things they want? First, the largest group of people, renters or buyers, typically wants a detached dwelling that is 1,000 to 1,800 square feet in size with 3 or more bedrooms and 1 or more bathrooms. Next, the floor plan of a home can make a home easier or harder to sell. You want to make sure that the floor plan is in line with local expectations and attractive to the majority of potential buyers or renters. This means that you should make sure the property has a floor plan that is characteristic of that area. For instance, if you are in Utah and you do not have a basement, you eliminate quite a few prospective buyers. In Pennsylvania, if you do not have a formal living and dining room, you limit the number of prospective buyers. Also, you should look for a floor plan that flows instead of one that is too choppy or broken up. Most buyers or renters do not want to go through the bathroom to get to kitchen. Third, consider the surroundings of the home. Is it on a busy street? Does it back up to commercial property? Is it located near railroad tracks? All of these features could reduce the value of your property. Finally, you want a place that is priced well for the features of the home. It is important to find a home that is moderately priced for the area it is located in. This will make it easier to sell or rent than its larger counterparts. Essentially, you want homes that a majority of the local population can afford to buy or rent. General characteristics. Finally, there are a number of general characteristics that you should consider when selecting a target area in which to invest. Steady appreciation is important, but it does not have to be double-digit percentage increases like it has been in some areas in the past. Single-digit appreciation is great to see because it indicates stability. A stable local economy or a steadily increasing local economy is another great sign because it is less likely to be impacted by national trends. Growth is great, but too much too fast of anything can never last. The result can be devastating for these areas, and it can literally stall the real estate market. The reputation of an area can impact the resale value and discourage buyers. Do some research to determine if there are any stigmas or racial clashes in the area. Real estate agents have to be careful when they provide this information. One of the best places to find this information is the local police department. You will want to call and ask about crime rates. You could also go directly to area residents to get their opinions. The number of days that a property stays on the market is a big factor to consider, too. We prefer areas where homes are on the market for 3 months or less, but not all areas can offer or sustain this resale rate. We suggest you focus on the medium to low-income priced properties in the area. These properties offer more opportunities to make a profit. You will have more buyers or renters interested in your properties. It would be great if the area is a strong or consistent rental market. Why? Because you would know that you could rent the property if you could not sell it. Be sure you evaluate the local rental market before you buy a property. It is nice to know that you can make money on a property by using a few techniques instead of feeling stuck using one approach. You will want to evaluate the current condition of the construction industry. An area that has a steady new construction industry is typically very stable and indicates steady growth. If there is an excessive inventory of properties on the market, however, it indicates that the market is slowing down and you should proceed with caution. The local building permit department has information about new construction. They will also help you identify where development is taking place or is planned to take place, so you can buy properties in the right areas. Keep in mind that market evaluation is never just a one-time thing. You should continue to re-evaluate once a month or once a quarter at least. Our world is constantly changing, and the changes at both the national and local level can affect you. Summary. So what are the key factors to consider when trying to identify your personal property search criteria? You've probably heard the old joke, what are the 3 most important things to look for when purchasing real estate? The answer, location, location, and location. Location is not the only thing to consider, but it is the most important. The better the area, the more people will be interested in the deal. If you have properties in rough areas, you will have a rough time selling or renting. Part of what makes a property's location a good one is its profit potential. If an area is attractive to renters or buyers as a place to live, then it will also attract many more people who see it as a secure investment. And finally, be sure the property can be purchased within a reasonable price range. The price needs to be within the range of the resources available to your buyers, lenders, and partners, and within a range that will allow you to make at least a modest profit as well. To summarize then, you should establish your personal property search criteria to guide your efforts to identify potential properties. How to find properties. Now that you understand some of the characteristics of a good real estate investment, the next question is, where do you go to find it? First, let's look at some sources on the internet that you can use to find motivated sellers as well as learn more about your target areas. It is a two-pronged approach. Not only can you find out about your target area, but you can find motivated sellers too. The sources fall into one of these 6 categories. Online newspapers. Free real estate services. Real estate agent websites. Freebie newspapers. Free online classifieds. Paid real estate listing services. Each category of resources has something unique to offer in your search. Some resources offer more information than others about an area, but all can be used to learn the basics of any given target area. Online newspapers. Since most newspapers are online, you can search the real estate classified section regularly without paying for the newspaper. You can find the newspapers that are online by going to www.newslink.org or to an online search engine like Google and searching for newspapers. As you go through the ads, you will want to note the price range, square feet, and the number of properties for sale and rent in different area of interest. Make sure that as you search through classified listings that you focus on those properties that meet the size, price, and location of your property search criteria. Also, to identify properties that are worth investigating, look for words such as handyman special, reduced price, relocation, divorce, must sell, as is, fixer-upper, estate sale, needs TLC, X amount of dollars in equity. When you find ads with these keywords, jot them down to investigate in the future. Free online real estate services. You will be amazed at how many free real estate services are available online. They are great places to learn about the market, find properties of interest, and even to sell your properties. Here are some of the websites we recommend: Zillow.com, Trulia.com, Craigslist.com. Some websites offer comparable sales reports and demographics for the areas you are researching. Comparables, or comps, as they are called, are comparable properties in a specified area that have sold recently. Caution: do not use these sites as your sole source of comparables. Real estate agents provide the best comps. Real estate agent websites. Real estate agent websites can be a good source of information. They can contain information about the area, market conditions, and the properties available. Buyers can access properties for sale for free on these websites. Here are two websites that provide estimated home values and average rental amounts: Realtor.com, RealtyTimes.com. These websites can also help you find investor-friendly real estate agents. Establishing relationships with knowledgeable, investor-friendly agents can help you in a number of ways. They can share successful investing tactics for your target areas and property types, suggest creative techniques for acquiring and profiting from properties, as well as for crafting offers you can make to ensure a profit, help you complete your personal property search criteria, provide access to the multiple listing service, MLS, for active listings, as well as to provide sales comparables. Establishing relationships with knowledgeable, investor-friendly agents can help you in a number of ways. They can share successful investing tactics for your target areas and property types, suggest creative techniques for acquiring and profiting from properties, as well as for crafting offers you can make to ensure a profit, help you complete your personal property search criteria, provide access to the multiple listing service, MLS, for active listings, as well as to provide sales comparables. Please note, you will probably need to talk with at least 8 to 10 agents before you find those 2 to 4 you can rely on. Create a real estate agent contact form to make a record of the agents you want to talk with, along with their contact information and areas of specialty. Before talking with these potential contacts, you need to have identified your target market and the type of property you are interested in. A successful agent likes to work with people who have done some research of their own and knows what they are looking for. After all, time is money to these agents. If you come across one of these newspapers and find that it has ads with the keywords that indicate motivated sellers, you may want to add it to the list of those you review on a regular basis. Make a note of specific properties of interest and possibly even change your target areas. Free online classified ads, search engines. Internet search engines are database directories that house information and links to almost every website on the internet. They are so common that many people don't even realize they are using a search engine to find what they want online. You can type in a keyword or keyword phrase on these search engine websites to find the specific information you want. Keywords: Motivated sellers can be found in all of the resources listed above and many more areas too. As you search through these resources, look for the keywords that indicate a potentially good deal. Look for these keywords in your online property searches. Handyman special. Fixer-upper. TLC needed. Bank owned. Reduced price. Must sell. Divorce. Job transfer. Relocation. Pre-foreclosure. Short sale. Estate sale. We will discuss ways to find motivated sellers in greater detail in a later module. For now, use these keywords as basic helps to find properties you might be interested in. When you find these keywords in your property searches, write down the property information. It is a great habit to get into. You will want to do this on a regular basis to build your real estate business and profit potential. We will go over some ideas on how to contact sellers in the next module. Action items. This concludes the What to Look For lesson. The only way to make money in real estate is to do it. You have the education, now all you need to do is apply it.